Today I'm making pampushki, very garlicky, herby Ukrainian bread rolls. These are the most flavorful, softest bread rolls ever. This was the second part of the Great British Bake Off Challenge where I had to make sweet or savory rolls, and I already made the best cinnamon rolls ever for the sweet side, which you can watch here. So this time, for the savory option, I'm using a recipe from Ukrainian chef Yevhen Klopotenko. Pampushki are usually served with borsch, but we'll leave that for another time. You can absolutely have them with dinner as bread rolls. The recipe is fairly simple. First, I'm making the dough. Take 400 grams all-purpose flour. Mine is fairly strong, 11.5, 12 grams of protein, so if yours is below 10, use bread flour instead. Then take 10 grams of instant yeast. The book calls for active dry, but I only had instant. 12 grams granulated sugar, 7 grams salt, 250 grams whole milk, and 100 grams of unsalted butter. To make the dough, I dump everything except the butter into my stand mixer's bowl and start kneading. The dough came together fairly fast, so it was time to start adding the butter. I added it all at once because the instructions actually call for making this dough by hand and combining everything at the same time. So this is pretty much the same process, just with a stand mixer. Now I'm just waiting until it forms a smooth, elastic dough, which took about 10 minutes in my mixer. Just remember to check the temperature of your dough and chill it in the fridge if it heats up too fast. You want it below 26°C. Now I'm shaping it into a ball and placing it in an oiled bowl for about 1 hour to proof. It should double in size, so keep an eye on it. After 1 hour, I'll shape the rolls. I'm using my cast iron pan, which is 10 inches I think, but you can totally use a round or square cake pan, 9 to 10 inches. Just don't forget to brush it with some oil or butter. I'm also making 8 rolls, even though the recipe asks for 12, but really the number and size of the rolls is up to you. You might just need to adjust the baking time a little. As always, I use a scale to make sure all the rolls are the same size, but plus or minus 2-3 grams is fine. To shape the rolls, take one piece, tuck any small scraps into the center, fold all the corners into the middle, flip it upside down, and then roll it under your palm to tighten it. This creates surface tension that helps the buns rise. If the dough is slightly sticky, use a drop of oil rather than more flour. After a bit of practice, you can actually shape them with both hands. And here's what the bottom should look like. It should be fully sealed, almost like a twisted candy wrapper. Now that all the rolls are shaped, I'm covering them with cling film and leaving them to proof for another 30-40 minutes. This is also a good time to preheat the oven to 350F or 180C. Once the rolls are nice and fluffy, it's time to bake them. It took about 25 minutes in my oven, but for you it might take a little less or more, depending both on your oven and the size of your rolls. Just keep an eye out for that golden brown color. While the pampushki are baking, I'm making the oil topping. I used double the ingredients because I wasn't sure if it would be enough. I took 30 grams of white wine vinegar, 60 grams of olive oil, you can use any neutral oil here, some salt and black pepper, 2 very large cloves of garlic that I microplaned, and around 2 to 3 tablespoons of chopped dill. If you're not a fan of dill, try parsley instead, but dill works best with borsch, so it's definitely the first choice here. Or if you're planning to eat these with dinner, choose a flavor combo that works best for your meal, although at that point they won't technically be pampushki anymore. I tasted the topping, was happy with it, and now it's time to pull the pampushki out of the oven. Brush them very generously with the oil topping while they're still very hot. And finally, it's time to taste. They look amazing, and their herbaceous, garlicky flavor, it's just incredible. Let's take one out and break it in half. You can see this amazing crumb structure, which comes down to the higher protein content of my flour, proper kneading, no sticking to the bowl, and proper shaping of the rolls. I know I mentioned that traditionally you eat these with borscht, but trust me, you'll enjoy them with any meal. They're the most flavorful, softest buns you can imagine. This recipe gets definitely 10 out of 10 from me. no questions here. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.